Let's talk about your Marvel's decline in Phase 4. What are you talking about? What do you mean?
Oh, mate, Marvel, the Marvel machine, the MCU.
I mean, how much stuff you want them to pump out? Wakanda was good.
No, so that I
enjoyed that.
Wakanda Forever, you liked it?
Yeah.
I thought
think
it was
a lot of
okay.
people,
I thought it was okay.
dude, what do you want? Like, I think because the biggest criticism that I hear from people like, oh, they should have superimposed Chad. Why? He's no longer there.
That's a difficult situation, right? Because
that is difficult, but they moved on.
Chadwick Boseman passed away a couple of years ago, right?
They were they filming or they started?
No, they didn't start. So it
then why?
But obviously, like it was very close to them. It was while they're developing the script, right?
Sure.
For them, 'cause obviously, like when you're developing a script, you have deadlines for when the movie needs to come out, production, all that sort of takes time. Yeah. I reckon they did the best they could with what they got. Right, and for Wakanda Forever, and what they got was a really terrible situation, which the main actor's gone.
But just park that as a storyline, and that it's good, it's fine.
I mean, I liked it. I thought it was okay.
I actually quite liked it.
But I thought the stuff preceding that was pretty terrible. Like
which stuff?
In terms of like the movies last year,
I think they just had.
I thought Doctor Strange was a big disappointment.
I didn't mind
that. Was massive disappointment.
I didn't mind it.
And I thought Thor: Love and Thunder was complete horseshit, really. To put it lightly. It was, I don't know how, it's the biggest 180 I've had from a director between two movies that I've ever seen. But it was just like, I didn't enjoy that at all. And then I don't think most of the Disney Plus series really connected much. I reckon what's happened is that
I think they just pumped out way too much content.
Quantity,
there's
quantity over quality. I think
there's going to be a normal...
You know why that happened, right? Because the previous CEO, so he's now previous CEO, Bob Chapek of Disney.
Yep.
He put in a lot of these middle management guys where Kevin Feige lost a lot of power.
Who's that?
Kevin Feige is the main head of the MCU.
Okay, yep.
Who, decides, who's basically been there from the start and created this whole thing. So he came in, Bob Chapek, around after Avengers Endgame, right? Around that time. And then when the pandemic was about to start, that's when he came in.
Yep.
So he had a mandate that he wanted heaps of shit from Marvel. Heaps of content for Disney Plus, for movies.
Yep.
And obviously at that point, Kevin Feige would say yes, but then he wouldn't have the same control that he used to have. That's why you see things dip in quality. Like,
well...
he doesn't have enough control over it anymore. And then when you don't have enough control, other people in charge, it's not the same.
I mean, so see the quality thing. Okay. Do you think that there's value in like frequency of content releases?
If you can do it, right? If
which is what I don't know what this, I can't remember the year prior that.
I mean, they got overconfident, right? They thought they can do it. I don't know. I think now they're having honest conversations about whether they could.
I guess my thing is like, would you rather every year a certain select few come out, or you saw this by the way with artists in that like of recent the release schedule is insane, right? Before it would take every 4 years or something you'd release an album, right? Now if you're out of the spotlight for 1 year, you're gone, right? From the ether. Like you're gone from... because
it's crazy, right? Drake just drops albums with a tweet.
Yeah, but like I haven't personally enjoyed a lot of those albums,
because it's
right
now the way the industry is that you're just flooded with content because that's how you're
fighting for things. But the other aspect is if you take generally that long, like it better hit, right? Because if it doesn't, then you're double screwed.
And like that's where I think they've probably had honest conversations right now about, maybe quantity over quality wasn't the right thing. Maybe, and obviously now that that CEO is gone, Bob Iger's back, who's the one who created the MCU in the first place, helped create the MCU in the first place.
Yep.
Has put Kevin Feige back in power, and now hopefully things can get back to what it used to be. Ant-Man looks good. I mean...
so what's the 2023 schedule at the moment?
So
I'm only familiar...
There's Ant-Man that's coming out in February.
Yep.
And there's Guardians that's coming out, I believe, in May.
Did you see that Guardians Christmas one?
No, I haven't seen that.
Don't bother. No, like, you know what? Like,
did you like it? I don't know.
Don't bother. Seriously. Like, it was so bad. Like, I'm changing this, right? So I'm a guy that like, if I start reading a book and just say it's 100 pages, let's just and I read 15 and I hate it.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit, I've wasted times 50. So I have to do the whole 100, right?
Yeah.
So that's especially true for like videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this is so bad that I've watched 3/4 of it and I'm not watching it. Yeah, like
well, lucky I haven't watched it.
Can't waste. I mean, you know what? That's why I'm really intrigued, because to me the thing of quality, it just. I mean, Trish hated it.
Yeah.
Like I think again, because you're flushed with so much content, people can now afford to say, "Nah, I don't want to. I have so much streaming. Like everyone has at least 2 or 3 streaming services.
That's true.
Why should I? Like, think off the top of your head, what's the best thing that you've watched in the last 2 days? Like, what's the best thing? Like, you can't even remember, and you probably have watched a lot.
Yeah,
that's the thing, right? Like you're spammed with so much
I'll tell
content.
You the last week, right? One of the best things I watched. Glass Onion. I actually like that.
Oh, that was good. No, that was good.
That was good.
That was good. Though the ending, the beginning and the middle was better than the ending for me. Somewhere off the pacing, but that concept is good.
Yeah.
Although I can't stand Daniel Craig's accent in that thing. Neither here, neither there. But yes, Glass Onion was good, and Glass Onion is a good business model of how I think it should be.
Yeah, because
in terms of assembling that cast, that's a good cast.
That's a good cast, and that was in theaters for a week. And
was
then,
it?
Yeah, in America apparently it was in theaters for a week, and then
because it wasn't. That's smart. To me, that's smart. I'm really intrigued in terms of the economics of how they make that.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like a lot of problems came during the pandemic about, and this is what Disney actually, the problem with that CEO was, is that he decided to release movies that were meant for theaters into streaming.
Yeah.
And we saw Warner Brothers do this with most of their slate. They just announced one day that all of their movies are going to be in streaming. They didn't consult anyone, any of the production companies.
Yeah, Black Widow was on pretty quick, and I like it because a lot of people have theater setups.
Yeah, but the problem was that the theater experience sort of went away, and that it didn't really do much for the movie on streaming as well. It didn't really, the services didn't really gain any subscribers.
Yeah.
So I think rethinking release,
schedules
and even just strategies, right?
Yeah.
The whole 1 week, of in cinema and then streaming. That's an interesting one, right? Because you could say, okay, that this thing is coming on streaming, but I can see the preview of it in the cinema if I pay.
Yeah. Would you?
I would.
I mean, it just depends, right? Because if you're watching an action movie, yeah, maybe I'd want. If I watch New Jurassic Park, because I love dinosaurs, I'd watch that in the cinema, right? I want the everything. But if I'm watching something like Glass Onion,
I don't know.
Personally,
imagine someone told you this, right? Imagine someone told you Glass Onion is releasing on streaming on December 23rd.
Yeah.
But you could watch it at the cinemas at December, like a preview, December 14th. 2 weeks before. And say you really loved
really loved it.
You really loved Knives Out.
Yeah.
The first one, right? And then you really want to watch the next one.
Yeah.
You reckon that wouldn't be an interesting sort of release sort of strategy?
I don't know. I actually don't know, right? If you told me Daniel Craig was there, yeah. No, seriously. Like, I think there can be ways to tweak it, right?
Yeah.
Or make it a bit more. Or if you said, okay, hold up, check this out. If you're into the franchise, because this thing is a franchise, right? Because of knives and all that stuff, right? Say if you had an alternate ending with that's how you do it. That's how you do it. Or you have 2 of the same thing and you pick which version A or version B.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like they've got to tweak it.
They've got to make the experience.
So something like Glass Onion, which is a detective, it plays perfectly. Like not a lot of movies are it's gonna sync creatively. Yeah, that's right. But that works. Yeah. That if you really loved it, I'm like, yeah, I paid for what's $14. I want to see what the second version looks like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. But I think the media and consumption industry, again, with so much choice, and it's just there's not a lot of innovation. Just and it's not good to me. Actually, the irony is, it's not good enough just to have good cast and good stories. Some of the best films I've watched have been very obtuse casts. Yeah, to be honest, because a good story can handle some of the best stuff that I've watched of recent. Like on Netflix, is actually not movies. It's like documentaries and stuff like that. And there's no actors there, but the stories are so compelling that I'm like, that's great. I'd rather all I watch is that sort of stuff, to be quite frank, personally.
Yeah, I mean, like at the end of the day, right? They're all competing for your time. Whether it's going to the theaters, whether it's watching YouTube, whether it's watching Netflix, they're all trying to compete for your time.
Yeah,
time is money. But yeah, I mean, they've got to think of something a bit. I mean, I thought the movie experience was gonna be severely hampered after COVID, right? Because I thought a lot of people would rather just stay home. Like I've seen this in culture recently. A lot of people do like to stay home and just watch their Netflix.
Of course.
But then we had hits like Top Gun Maverick, which just kept on making money.
That was good. That was good though.
Which was such a good movie, right?
Yeah, it was good.
It was made for that theater experience.
It was made for the theater experience,
with the Dolby Atmos and stuff like that. But
just had some Dolby Atmos.
Dolby Atmos right there. But yeah, I mean, it's just they've got to sort of market the theater experience. I reckon.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.